The Springfree Trampoline mat is a polypropylene material that's used on all trampolines, all domestic trampolines. It goes through quite a rigorous process of calendaring, and its standard of UV resistance is it passes a test of a 5,000 hour test, which is one of the most rigorous tests that they ever do on materials. What usually fails on trampolines is not so much the mat material. It usually lasts about 10 years, but it tends to be the stitching that fails. Now, the stitching tends to fail for two reasons. One is because the stitching itself doesn't have the UV resistance that the mat does, and the stitching is often exposed so that it gets a lot of wear with people rubbing on it and bouncing on it. On the Springfree trampoline, the stitching is actually covered over by some of the yellow webbing, and what that does is it protects it first of all from the UV light itself, so that it lasts longer even though it is under UV light, and secondly it protects it from abrasion from people jumping on it. Right beside the edge of a conventional trampoline you've got the springs and you've got the frame. With the Springfree trampoline, those are taken right out of the way. When someone falls onto the edge, the energy of their fall, if you like, is absorbed by the pultruded fiberglass rods underneath. In other words, they just bend under the load of the impact and absorb the energy. So rather than the energy going into hurting somebody's head, it goes into bending the fiberglass rods.